appreciate if you guys can give me your technical overview for me to understand like how I should conduct, especially the scripting part day. So, Yuga, you want to start over here?
Sure, yes. So I have overall 5 years of experience that is into Remedy ITSM, and I do have a knowledge of JavaScript and HTML, little bit AngularJS also, and I'm already working onto the service now. It's been last 6 months, you would say.
Mhm. So, are you aware about the admin stuff, or how is it like basics you might be having for sure, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, perfect. Uh, Other participant. Pritish, can you hear us now?
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yes, can you quickly help us us towards your technical background?
Sorry.
Can you walk us towards your technical background?
Yeah, actually, I have done BTech in civil, non-IT, and I have completed in 2014. Then currently I'm working as a senior engineer in project management.
Mm.
Yeah,
So you
actually
want to move your profile towards scripting? Is it that?
Yes.
Okay. So are you aware about ServiceNow, like what the tool is about?
Not yet. Actually, I have some idea about this. One of my friend has told me about ServiceNow,
Okay.
but not exactly what is this actually.
Okay.
Mm.
So let me share my screen. Richa, you want to record it? Okay, I should record it. Okay. So let me walk you guys towards how we have structured the classes, guys. So this is totally a ITSM training in which there will be 3 sections. First, we'll start with the foundation and the admin. We have combined those together where you will understand, okay, what the tool is about, how do we use it, what do we use it for and stuff. When that is done, then we'll move it towards your scripting. And when even scripting is completed, then we will move towards, as in the closure of the training will be with the integration. Okay, so that's what the training agenda will be. We will be, if it works, we'll be connecting for next 30-35 hours, spending 30-35 hours together to understand the tool to work upon. Okay, so now let's proceed further and let's talk about the foundation of the tool. So if anyone asks me, what is ServiceNow? My answer will be that it is a ticketing tool. Correct, guys? The simplest definition. Surely Yuka will agree to me because yeah, you are from the same scripting background, same I would say ticketing tool background. So we know it's nothing but ServiceNow is a ticketing tool. First thing first, and who is using ServiceNow? If you talk about that, guys. So let's say if we work for ABC company. So the ABC company in-house employees, the main agenda is that the in-house employees of a company will be using the ticketing tool, correct? Now, when I say the in-house employees, then what all purpose will they use the tool for? They will use the tool when let's say I'm new to the company and I need a new offering from the company. Like let's say maybe for example, I need a new laptop, maybe some software access, some hardware, network access and whatnot. So if a ticketing tool is not there, if an organization doesn't have a tool, you will have to know each department in your organization. I'll have to know, okay, when I need a laptop, which team will help me? If I need, let's say, a printer access, which team will help me? So initially, before any ticketing tool coming to picture, guys, things were manual. People used to walk to each other to seek their help. When people were doing manual interaction, the problem over there was that, let's say, for example, I need a laptop. And if I'm walking to you, let's say maybe, suppose, for example, let's say Richa is the IT support desk person, representative. So if I ask Richa to do the laptop configuration for me, surely it does include some effort of her. But when she is helping me, who is no one but the colleague of her, the co-employer or employee of the company, obviously in that case, because it's not generating direct revenue, for her to justify her level of effort is becoming a little trickier. At a later stage, let's say if Richa works with me for maybe, let's say, last 10 hours, so at the month end, when her billability, she has to, validate, when her billability, she has to explain to her manager or whosoever it is, it becomes difficult for her to do so because she has done manual interaction. Rather, if a tool would have been there for the same purpose, it would have surely made her life much more easy. Agree? So for that particular reason in specific, what do we say? For that particular reason in specific, we are saying, okay, let's do one thing, that is, at any given point in time, let's have a tool in place. Let's have a tool in such a way where employees of the company, whenever they have technical help, or let's say you have a product and today it's not working as desired, as in something is broken for you, even in that case, the employee can go ahead and raise ticket of certain kind. Does that make sense to you? Now, the next thing which we may want to understand in this case is what? The next thing which we may want to understand in this particular one-up is that at any given point in time, whenever we are doing the configuration, is the process, is the tools limitation only till these two applications? So the answer is no. As in today, if you'll see, guys, you will find it out that today the scope of ServiceNow is what? Today, the scope of ServiceNow is not only it's limited to the ID part of it, but ServiceNow is even offering today n number of application like your finance, like your HR, like your resource management, the chatbot, and so many other applications. So the vision of ServiceNow is that at some point in time, the entire organizational employee interaction, be it chatting with each other, be it making financial decisions, doing the resource planning, everything and can be done through the ticketing tool itself. So that's the major reasoning because of which the organization needed the ticketing tool. First, as I said, to create tickets. Second, with this growing vision, obviously an n number of new applications are being required at some point in time or the other. And the benefit, the major benefit of ServiceNow is it's keeping on evolving itself. In every year, ServiceNow will come up with a new release, a new version. And when I say a new version, this new version will have fixes of last release if any issue was broken, plus new enhancements, new features. So that way, it is quite a beneficial tool. Now you may have a query, guys, that why ServiceNow? Like, as you are from the remedy background, so why are we moving? Why, like for example, today if you'll see, guys, the industry today, 90% of be it IT or non-IT industry, they have transitioned, they have moved towards ServiceNow. So why is that so? What could be the reason there? Yoga, you know the inputs there. Can you give us an input over there a bit?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah. So one thing I found is that the platform user interface is very intuitive. Okay, if you see the remedy now in the Helix, they have some good UI, but ServiceNow is way better than remedy. And the second thing, many out of the box features are available. okay, which are not there into the other ITSM tools, like project portfolio management, agile methodologies model is also there to, instead of using Jira, one can even go with the ServiceNow agile model. And the other thing, the way the things are achieved is very quicker in ServiceNow. So scripting makes it very easier, and they
Mm.
also have some low code platforms where people like business analysts can also do the development. So that involves everyone into the project, and not all the time a technical person is required there. And they're using the cutting edge technologies, like I know the AngularJS is little older, but I think they are even switching to some uh, other web scripting languages, UI, I mean, for the UI development. Yeah, these are some things that I think,
Mm.
ServiceNow, why the ServiceNow is fascinating the other ITSM
Mm.
consultants towards it.
So yeah, correct you are. But can just one point can I add in there is, if you see service now, and you might already be aware about it, that the major reason or the vision which ServiceNow brought was, all the prior tools actually, guys, they were built on platform as a service approach. All the prior ticketing tools were using the concept of platform as a service. So if I take the example of your Remedy, likewise your HP Service Management, likewise even your Jira, so all these were using, they were built on platform as a service. Now, what does that mean? It means if I'm building a tool as a platform as a service, in that case, what happens if I'm making a tool as a platform as a service? In that particular case, ServiceNow says that, okay, in that particular case, the concept says, my bad. The concept says that when you are purchasing a tool as a platform as a service, you as a customer company, they will sign contract with the tool, and the day they get the tool, they will have to own up the database of the tool, the server of the tool, plus the front end changes. Means overall, I can say the entire scope of the tool is now there with the customer company. Surely it has got its own benefit. Like if you see in this case, obviously the security is better, correct? Because my customer company is owning everything up, because the tool owners don't have access to any of these levels. So surely the data security is better there. But if I take you to the tool vision, if I say, okay, what the ticketing tool is, it was overall automating a company employee interaction. The ticketing tools at the first place, they were never storing organization's customer data or finance data, like if I begin with. So when customers started using these tools, now we are saying to the customer, okay, you will have to hire these set of people for your tool level changes, or let's say if the tool is broken, so to do the debugging and whatnot. So when tools like these came into picture, the overhead was the company had to hire 3 different type of resources. The company have to hire, number of resources may vary. I'm not talking about the number, I'm talking about the type. Correct? Do you agree? People who know database, people who know server, people who know front end changes. But when ServiceNow came into picture, guys, it was based on this approach, which is called as software as a service. In this case, ServiceNow is based on this approach. In this case, let's say if I take ServiceNow as an example, ServiceNow company, as in the tool owner, I can say, takes care of the database and server. In this case, the customer company only will have to hire people like you and me to do the customization into the tool. Front end changes we'll be doing. So in this case, the benefit will be what? In this case, the benefit will be that on the customer company, if you see the overhead is too less. Correct? So this was the major reason because of which it got the benefits, or whatever way you say, because of which it gained the popularity, actually, in a way I can say. So that's why ServiceNow became quite an important tool. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So along with front end changes, I would also like to add developing the business logic.
It is correct. Okay. So I think this much I'll keep it to this one. Now let's proceed further. Let's go towards the scripting. So for the scripting, guys, what all we'll be covering? For the scripting, we'll be talking about all your client side, server side, so on and so forth. Which one do you guys want me to show? Client script, server side, which one should I do?
Server side.
Server side?
Server side, yeah.
Okay. So over here, we have created proper documentation for all the contents for you to share and related lab works and whatnot. So let's begin with server side. Now, when I say server side, guys, what does it mean? Whenever a person says server side, surely the term itself says that the scripting is going to run on the database on the server. In ServiceNow, the server side scripting, guys, can be done in two ways. They are business rule and script include. The base of entire other server-side components like your buttons and workflows and everything, which are also server-side component. The base over here is this one. If you are clear with business rule, if you understand each and every concept of business rule, you are surely in a good position. So business rule is little lengthy topic. It has got so many terminologies, but as I said, if you remember that, if you're clear with that, rest everything will be a smooth transition because the entire concept has been derived from the business rule configuration. Now, whenever you have to write a business rule will have a trigger condition. Whenever you have to trigger a business rule, there will be a trigger condition associated. So let's begin with one. So to write business rule, we can go to the business rule. Under system definition, you have to go here. This is a place where you can define the business rule and select on which application you have to put it. So let's say if I go in here onto your business rule, let's create a new one. So first thing first is, just one second, guys, I'll just deactivate this one. First thing first is create a new one. And surely you have to define the table on which this has to be triggered. The table with which it has to be associated. So when I go in here and click on new, let's see how it works. So first thing first is in the name you elaborate, guys. For what purpose am I writing the script? Like let's say through the script, I'm changing a field in the user or doing some validation. So whatever the script is about, you can put it in there. Let's say I say update incident short description, like whatever the agenda is. In the table, it is a must for you to specify the table on which this action will get performed. If you're selecting none, obviously it will never get called. If you select task, which is the parent, then the script will work on all the child tables. That is, anytime if I want to do what, anytime if I want to go ahead and make my script run on, each and every of the tasks child, like incident, problem and all, we can go in here and we can do the needful. So
Oh,
let's say if I
Saloni,
want,
yeah. So if I, let's say the business rule is there onto the task table and I want to restrict it on other child table, let us say incident. So is there any way to do that?
so you want to say that, okay, let's not run it on incident, but run it on other
Correct.
child table.
Correct.
So in that case, you have something called task type. So let's
Mm-hmm.
build that. I don't know why it's
Mm-hmm.
getting stuck here. Just give me 1 minute. So if you go in here, select your table. I don't even know what are they doing. Okay. So in that case, you will put your script, okay, on the task table. And let's say you have to give extra conditions. So select this advanced. I'll do that in scripting to get the scripting tab. And then, as you said, you only wanted it, let's say, to work on not to work on incident, suppose. So you will say task type is not incident. So you are saying that include all the child task tables, but not incident. So you will say is not. So through this, you will be able to control that.
Okay, so task type shows all the child tables, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great.
I really don't know what you guys know or how can I go into this scripting. So that's why I'm a little lost. Like, what should I teach in business rule? Because I don't know what you know. So okay. Anyway, I'll talk about the fields. I don't
Yeah,
know.
anything
Yeah.
that you tell about server side
Okay,
scripting
fine.
should be
Fine.
fine.
So when I'm going in here in your business rule, if you'll see the business rule, there are 4 possible types of it. We will obviously begin with before, after, we'll understand what are these to do, and then we'll go to these two. So before and after, before works, before the commit, guys, I'm just going to talk about, I don't know how much will you understand. So I've never done this kind of demo in the beginning of the class. So I can just say that whenever I'm writing before, it will run before the current change gets committed. That is in the before business rule. If suppose you are changing something in the current record, then in the before business, you will not write current dot update if you are changing something in current. And in the after business rule, when you are trying to change some field value in the current record, you will have to write current dot update there. That's the difference between the two. But performance wise, if you're working on current, always before business rule is a better one. Okay, so I may sound Arabic, I don't know, but yeah, that's what that is. Then in the action, if you have to set the fields directly, do the on submit validation, yes, you can here. In the advanced, it gives you a scripting screen, and advanced only comes up when I check the advanced checkbox. So in the advanced, you can go ahead and do advanced scripting. Like let's say, I don't want to set certain field value directly, rather I want to combine the data from this field, that field, and that combination, if I want to put it somewhere. So that's what I can put it over here in this one. So that's what advanced is used for. Like let's say if I have to do some live record of some XYZ table and fetch the data from there, yeah, surely it is enough.
If you go back to the second tab, that is actions, there is a abort. So if I just do abort action, that single business rule would get aborted, and rest of the rules
The
which are
update
there,
or insert will get uploaded, not the business. So let's say if I
or the
write it
whole
all,
transaction.
yeah. Let's say if suppose if I write it on update. So when let's say while
Mhm.
updating the record, if this business rule condition will be met, then that update will be aborted, not this business rule.
Okay.
Any other query?
In this role conditions, whatever role we specify, those would be able to execute this business rule, correct?
Yeah, let's say for example, I give a rule ITIL. So if XYZ person doesn't have ITIL, for him this business rule won't trigger.
But I don't think mostly people use this role conditions.
It's totally based on the requirement. I can't say it doesn't.
Yeah.
It depends. Anything else?
So in the real time, you will be also explaining the using the debugger, script debugger.
We'll talk about the business rule possibilities, as in I think debugger is also a topic which Richa has. I think the overview of the training content she would have shared it with you, know, like what all topics we'll be covering, you know.
I did not find that debuggers. That's the reason.
I think it is there
Okay.
in the server side at the end of it, or in the miscellaneous, in either of those two topics. Either if it not in server side, then you will find it in miscellaneous. So she had contents like that. Any other query?
Mm, Pritesh, you can ask to Pritesh if he has any.
Pradesh, any query for you?
No, go ahead.
No, so it was just a 20 minutes demo. So I think I've done enough. So
Okay, okay.
we are going to end the session.
Saloni, what kind of labs do you share? That day also I asked for the labs if you can show, like now since
So
we are into scripting maybe.
I can't show till we enroll. So I can't show everything
But
right
at least
away.
you can explain, what kind of lab it is. If you don't want
So
to
like
show
let's
that.
say for example, if it is business rule, yeah, whatever topic we would have done that day, on that day the assignment will be there. Like let's say, okay, glide some table or do XYZ action. If incident is getting created, set
Mm-hmm.
this field value to this, something like that it will be.
Okay. I
Okay
did
then
not.
guys.
Uh, yeah.
I
So
think
even
I'll
the
end.
hello.
Go ahead, Yoga. Go ahead.
Yeah. So even the flow designer topic, I was not able to see it there. So flow designer is covered or not?
It will be.
It will be.
Yeah,
Okay.
it will.
All right. Like these are the only queries I have. It
Okay.
it was a good session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day.